How's it going, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing something a little different, ranking every cog in Toontown. The Halloween season inspired me to make some Toontown content. Note, this is only going to be the 32 base game cogs. Please keep in mind, this is solely based on my opinion alone, and some of these rankings might not make complete sense to anybody but me. Anyways, let's get started. Up first, we have the bottom feeder, a fitting name for what I believe to be the most basic of the cogs. This cog has always been very uninteresting to me. You only really see it in Toontown Central and easily forget about it shortly afterwards. Next, at number 31, we have the cold collar. Similar to the bottom feeder, this cog does not have a lot going on. Once you're out of Toontown Central, you don't really think about these guys anymore. At number 30, we have the short change. Although practically identical to the cold collar, the short change gets a couple extra bonus points for being tiny in Corporate Clash, which is a really good touch. Number 29, we have the Backstabber. There's just something about this cog that has always bothered me. Like, just look at it. What is it trying to be? I always thought it was trying to be lipstick or something, but whatever it is, it doesn't work for me. At number 28, we have the name dropper. It's a pretty forgettable cog, although it is most people's first glance at a cog with massive lips. This cog isn't anything special though. Up next, we have the penny pincher. Just an okay cog. But I always thought that its head kind of looked like a volcano when I was younger, and then when it explodes, it's almost like the volcano's going off. No, just me? Okay, moving on. At number 26, we have the Tightwad, the fatty of Toontown Central. If you've gone sad while first starting the game, this is probably the cog responsible. I don't know why, but he seems way harder than most other cogs at the beginning of the game. Next, we have the Bloodsucker. Overall, this cog has a decent design. He ranks low because of that one task that makes you defeat 6 of them. For my pain and suffering, he gets number 25. But like, seriously, whose idea was that? At number 24, we have the telemarketer. I think this is the most human looking of the cogs. It's kind of plain, but I like the design and the blank, soulless stare he gives. Overall, a decent low tier cog. Next, we have the double talker. I don't have a whole lot to say other than the fact that it's more on the unique side, especially when compared to the other low tier cogs. Not a bad one. At number 22, we have the money bags. The design of the money bags is intimidating, but it feels like it's lacking something to me. It's unique, sure, but feels just a bit too plain considering it is a tier 6 cog. At number 21, we have the bean counter. Just a grump with a silly hat. What's there not to like? You'll be shocked to see that at number 20 we have the downsizer, just a slightly more difficult grump with a silly hat. Its identical appearance to the bean counter has led thousands of toons into battles that they thought they needed, but probably didn't. At number 19, the yes man. Honestly, just love the plastic smile he puts on. It's creepy, but he really captures that fake businessman feel. Definitely a standout for low tier cogs. Next, we have the Gladhander. Everything I said about the Yes Man applies to the Gladhander, but he's fat, which equals better in my book. At number 17, we have the Number Cruncher. A real solid design here. I really like the multicolored numbers on its mouth. It gives it a really nice flair that most other cogs don't have. The unique colors make this cog a standout. Next, we have the Spin Doctor. I feel like this cog resembles the burnt out doctor look perfectly. Everyone has probably had a doctor that looks like this at one point or another. At number 15, we have the Lone Shark. This cog absolutely terrified me as a kid. Its tall, slim build with the shark face on top makes it really intimidating. My only real problem is that it looks just a bit plain when compared to the other tier 7 cogs. At number 14, we have the Twoface. Not much to say about this guy. It's unique like the Double Talker, just done better in my opinion. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. Next, we have the Mr. Hollywood. This cog only ranks this high because it's the highest tier for the sellbots. Literally just a yes man that had a growth spurt. Probably should be lower, but I still like him for some reason. At number 12, we have the Headhunter, an awesome design that has a really clever play on words. His big, bulky structure with a tiny head on top is quite silly and goofy if I do say so myself. Really good overall. Next up, we have the Bigwig. Being the highest tier cog for the Lawbots, it's a solid enough design, but I believe they could have done a bit more to make the Bigwig more interesting. At least it's an original model though. Only really gets this spot because it's a tier 8. At number 10, we have the Pencil Pusher. A cog that looks like a pencil? How could you go wrong with that? Pencil Pusher is an absolute staple in Toontown, and I like him a lot. Excellent design, especially on such a low level cog. At number 9, we have the Micromanager. This one might be a little controversial, but I love it. It's such a Karen, and I have always found that to be absolutely hilarious. For most people, Micromanager is unforgettable in either a good way or a bad way. And for me, it's a good way. Next up, the Legal Eagle. It's a cog that looks like an eagle. It's gonna have some fans. No, but seriously, it has a really good design. It's detailed and intimidating. I really like the constant glare its face makes. A great high tier cog with a unique design. At number 7, we have the Ambulance Chaser. I don't know why I like the Ambulance Chaser so much. Its design really works for me, and I feel like if there's truly an underrated cog, it's this one. It's one of those cogs that should be harder than it is based off of its design alone, and I am a huge fan. Next up, we have the Mingler. I had a hard time ranking this one. The Mingler has such a good cog design. It's got an absolutely chilling smile that creeps me out like no other cog can. Definitely a standout that literally nobody can forget, even if they wanted to. I'm probably gonna end up regretting putting the Mingler this low, but oh well. Well everybody, we made it to the top 5. These were not easy to rank. Just know that these are probably going to be in a completely different order in my head tomorrow. At number 5, we have the Big Cheese, the highest tier of the boss bots. A big cheesy boy that you know stinks. Definitely a unique cog that is fit to be the highest of the boss bots. What else is there to say? At number 4, we have the Mover and Shaker, the twirling mustache villain of Toontown. This is a special cog, and everyone knows it. There's a reason it got an entire building created around it, and I could not be more pleased. The infamous stomp and that cheesy grin makes this one of the best cogs around. The Flunky is so iconic. It's the first cog you fight in the tutorial, and truly the face of Toontown. Silly looking cog that nobody can forget. I love the Flunky, you love the Flunky, we all love the Flunky. At number 2, we have the Robber Baron. This has no reason to be this high, other than the fact that I love the Robber Baron. The first suit I ever maxed was Cashbot, and that is solely because I wanted to see my toon in a Robber Baron's body. Such a big, scary, and intimidating cog that I believe outshines nearly every other one. Perfectly fits what should be the hardest of the Cashbots. And in our number 1 spot, we have the Corporate Raider. I don't think this cog being at number 1 is very controversial. Who doesn't love the big fat pirate walking around? An extremely unique cog with a certain flair and personality most other cogs just don't have. Corporate Raider stands out in every battle because its design is so good. I love this cog, and I think it stands out as the best cog in Toontown. Quick bonus round. Bosses. 3, 2, 1, go. In last place is the Chief Justice for obvious reasons, although I do like the jury segment and the cannons are fun. Number 3 is the VP. It's a super nostalgic fight with fun mechanics, but it's a little too easy for my taste and doesn't compare to the top 2. Next is the CEO. This almost took the number 1 spot. In terms of its design, it is the best boss in the game. I love the entire theme behind this boss fight, along with the mechanics. Truly, some of the best the game has to offer, second only to this. The CFO is my favorite boss in Toontown. The design, amazing. The mechanics of the fight, so much fun, unless you're stomping, which in that case probably puts this boss in last place. The setting, you're in a bank vault. Need I say more? The way the boss is defeated, immaculate. Overall, this fight is what it's all about. I would love to know what you thought about my list, and what you would change. I'm sure I had some fairly bizarre takes to a lot of you. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching. Have a good one.